Welcome, one and all, to FA Norwich Free Academy in Norwich, Connecticut for Flexes and Flips. We have a nice match set up for you today. It's a small card. There's 5,000 people here. This is event 4, 2/17/2023. It's 7 p.m. Friday night, and we'll be starting real soon. And for you tonight, the first match is Demolition Axe and Smash versus Dusty Rhodes and Sting. Okay, so there we go. The no DQ match. Right, and on top of that, we're gonna have a no time limit, zero time limit on these matches. The winner of this goes on to the tag team that wins this goes on to the finals. Actually, it'd be the finals. Yeah, where is the finals? Let's see. Tag team tournament. Yeah, there we go to the semifinals. Semifinals. And that's it. We're gonna computer control. Computer control. Okay. I'll try to remember who's in the ring and who's not. It'll be Axe against Sting in the ring first. Here we go. Ooh, matchup analysis. 280 against 159. Tough task today, and I just don't think they're gonna win. Okay, here we go. Action. Uh-oh. Demolition think Dusty Rhodes and Sting are not paying attention, but are sadly mistaken. As Dusty Rhodes and Sting greet them with a big punch, the battle goes outside the ring and they continue fighting for several minutes. Reach the stamina by minus 50. Demolition a very deep cut in their left eyelid that is causing an enormous amount of blood to gush out over their eye and down their face. Dusty Rhodes and Sting have the right outside of their lower lip torn open a little, and the blood has started to flow. Oh man, it's a cut match. Minus 46 in cuts for Axe and Smash already. Demolition try to reply to their card. Tag team members for East. Dusty Rhodes and Sting have Demolition in a pinning predicament, but before the 3 count is made, Demolition are able to tag out, which Dusty Rhodes and Sting do not realize. The wrestler entering the ring delivers a running knee lift and follows up with a devastating elbow drop. Reduced stamina by 25. Okay, so right now we have Sting in the ring against Axe. I think that's Axe. That's Smash. I think. So Sting whips Demolition Axe into the ropes and delivers his clothesline. Blam. Sting decides to use punches against Axe. Bam, 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 bam. Sting delivers a series Quick knee drops to Demolition's chest. To Axe's chest. Sting whips Axe into the ropes and hits him with a double thrust to the throat. Demolition used a table outside the ring, counter move. Demolition turned the table and make an effective counter, avoid the move. Successful target occurred, double team attempt. Partner tags out and starts arguing with the referee, which allows partner to perform a variety of illegal moves on the opponent. Oh no. They got the referee distracted. So now it's Smash. Okay, so now we got Sting again. They keep double teaming Dusty Rhodes and Sting. Now Smash is back in. Smash shoves opponent into the corner, which allows his partner to violently choke opponent with a tag team rope, while the partner is distracted to the referee. Successful tag out occurred. So it's Axe again. They want to use it. Sting wants to use a specialty move. Be Sleeper. Okay, so now it's Dusty Rhodes in the ring with Smash. Demolition will attempt anticipating counters and move and brilliantly counter the attempt. So Smash. Okay, Dusty Rhodes locks Smash into a figure four. Tries to get him to pin submit. And that doesn't work. Okay, so now we got Sting back in there. Double team attempt. Dusty Rhodes and Sting continue to tag out frequently and use a variety of moves on both legal and illegal to take control of the immediate situation. Opponent desperately needs to tag out and is able to do so. So they're working Smash over pretty good right here. They got 154 damage. These guys got 149. Cuts minus 46 and 14. All this red paint is all covered with blood. Outside ring action. Sting nails Smash as he tries to re-enter the ring, knocking him back to the arena floor. Sting kicks Smash in the midsection. Whoa. Sting delivers a kick that is barely above Smash's belt. Ouch. The Sting kicks Demolition on the forehead. Smash. Now it's Dusty Rhodes back in. The double team attempt. Dusty Rhodes and Sting are able to dictate the pace of the match with a series of quick tag outs and enable them to apply constant pressure on the opponent. They've still got Smash. Dusty Rhodes want to limit Demolition's ability to use the arm, keep the pressure on Demolition's Smash's arm by pressing a knee into their biceps. Dusty Rhodes is Sting trying to get more aggressive. Dusty Rhodes assumes control in the match with some well-timed and well-placed forearms that keeps Demolition off balance. So good forearm smashes on Smash. Dusty Rhodes and Sting have decided to use arm holds, so Dusty Rhodes has an arm hold on him. Dusty Rhodes are distracted, which caused them to lose control of Demolition. So here we go. Demolition would be Smash with a foreign object pin attempt. Demolition of a very small flat metal object that they use to punch Dusty Rhodes and Sting in the throat. So they hit Dusty Rhodes with this thing. And then try to pin him. It didn't work. Dusty Rhodes decides to call for a partnership. Dusty Rhodes and Sting. We call the partner to help. Partner cannot get To the attempt as the action is on the far side of the ring. Nothing happens. Count continues. No pin. They want to eat demolition, so it's smash still. They want to go for a special move. A decapitation elbow. Blam. They hit that on Dusty Rhodes. Or was it Sting? Sting will say. Okay, successful tag out occurred, so now it's Axe in the ring against Sting. Double team attempt, demolition performer, double backdrop on an opponent. So Axe performs a double backdrop on Sting. Kablam. And then Axe drapes Sting throat first over the bottom rope and then use the rope to choke them. Uh-oh. So Sting is hurting. So now Smash is back in. And he comes in and delivers some well-placed punches to Sting's face. And another tag out to Axe. And then they get out and whip Sting to the ropes. Sting comes bouncing back to the ropes and blam! Demolition puts a double team on him, a double clothesline. They're out wrestling Dusty Rhodes and Sting right now. Okay. A successful tag out has occurred. That means that Smash is back in. The well prepared Sting is ready for it. Sting has control. Success tag out occurred. They do a double team attempt, suplex attempt. Dusty Rhodes and Sting lift Demolition up and holds them in a hanging vertical suplex. And they bring him down to the. They bring him down. And boom! It's a big explosion. I can imagine that must hurt. That must hurt. That was Smash. It got hurt there. Dusty Rhodes. Sting surprises opponent with a roll up, reduced stamina. Outside ring action. Okay. Smash tries a counter move. Demolition shove Sting face first in the ring post. Sting has a large cut appear right below his right eye, and blood is beginning to pour out. Uh-oh. Minus 25, so we got some cuts here. Successful tag out, so Axe is back in. Okay. Successful tag out occurred. Partner tags out and holds opponent down on the mat. Give his partner a chance to stop away on the opponent. Blam, 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 blam. So now Dusty Rhodes is in there. He's stomping all over Axe, I believe. Okay. And Dusty Rhodes ties the opponent up in an Indian Deathlock. He attempts to get Axe to submit. No submission. Okay. Outside ring. Dusty Rhodes throws Demolition into the crowd where the assault continues through the crowd with fans screaming for cover. And Axe has the left outside of his lower lip torn open, blood starting to gush out. So their cuts are at minus 69 and 317 damage. It's been a crazy fight. Illegal choking by Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes jumps on Axe while they are draped throat first over the bottom rope. Dusty Rhodes surprised Axe with a series of punches. Then he tries to pin him. No pin. Sting has been tagged. Sting is able to dictate the pace of the match with a series of quick tag outs, enable them to apply constant pressure on the opponent. Sting, legal speed move, but Demolition counters it. The axe in there. And then Axe turns Sting over into a single leg Boston Crab. Submission attempt. No submission. Outside ring is happening again. Demolition smashes Dusty Rhodes. He just smashes. So it'd be Axe smashes Sting with a chair across his arm. Sting has a serious cut on the inside of his ear that produces a large amount of blood. Ouch. Okay, so Smash is back in. Bleed profusely. Partner tags out and pushes the opponent into the corner where his partner pound away punch after punch. Bam, 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 bam. So they're punching away on Sting. Sting is bleeding profusely. Everybody's bleeding profusely. Body slam countered by Sting. Okay. Sting used a variation of Cobra Clutch on the opponent, which is Smash. No submission. Smash has control. Smash conceals the chokehold from the referee while holding Sting in the front chancery. Smash has Sting in a tight, high in the air, and slams him hard on the mat. Boom! Well, that hurts the lumbar region. Low pin though. Sting does a bridge and gets out of it. Okay, Smash steps on Sting's throat using their boot to hold him down. Sting is there kicking his feet. Outside the ring action again. Wow, they're 89 cuts now. They're going to stop this match. They'll be going to the hospital. Okay, Dusty Rhodes, Sting. They try a counter move. Sting batters Demolition while outside the ring with chairs, tables, anything else they can get their hands on. Smash suffers an ugly cut on the bridge of his nose. Reduced stamina and add cut damage by minus 20. Wow. They've taken 448 damage against 360 damage between Sting and Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes and Sting have control. Successful tag out. So now Dusty Rhodes is in there. Double team attempt after a tag out opponent is nailed with a blistering double clothesline. That's Smash. So they whip Smash to the ropes. He comes stumbling back, bleeding profusely. Kablam! Double clothesline. Dusty Rhodes have a successful tag out again, which means Sting's back in. Ropes move countered by Smash. Smash sucker punched Sting when the referee tries to separate the two. Demolition's tagged out, so Axe is back in. Partner is baited by opponents to come into the ring, which allows double teaming to continue as the referee ushers partner back to the ring apron. So they're pounding on Sting. Bam, bam, bam. Punching, kicking him. Countered. Illegal low blow. Axe kicks Dusty Sting below the belts. Oh, Sting down on the mat, kicking his legs. He's hurting bad. Successful tag out occurred as Demolition so smashes back in it. Smash throws the opponent into the ropes and nails him with a violent double elbow on a rebound. Oh, so they both do it, yeah. They both do it to Sting, and Sting is hurting bad after just getting hit in the crotch. Now his nads are hurting, now his head's hurting. He's bleeding profusely on top of that. Okay, successful tag out occurred. That means we got Axe back in, I think. Okay, so the partner with honoring regards to the rules enters the ring, and that's Axe. Attacks the opponent from behind, which is Sting. Axe puts the boots to Sting, following the Sting, breaking right before being disqualified. Outside ring action. Axe finally wraps Sting's leg around the ring post. Wow. Sting surprised Demolition with a series of punches. Bam, 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 bam. And fighting back. Okay. Okay, Demolition. So it's Smash. Smash on there. Headbutt Sting squarely on the jaw. Sting just crumples down on the mat. He is hurting. Try to pin him. No pin. He's somehow able to get out of it. Put his shoulder up. Smash picks Sting up for a vertical suplex. Sting is fading fast, looking very deep, and looks to be in very deep trouble. There's a pin attempt. No pin. Sting puts his shoulder up again. Kicking his leg a little bit. He's hurting. Needs to get a tag. Dusty Rhodes and Sting have control. Demolition are prepared for the opponent's move and make a dead counter. Uh-oh. Smash lifts Sting up for a full body slam. And boom, is this the end of Sting? Sting is hurting bad. Check the pin. No pin. Sting still manages to get out of it. Amazing. Demolition have control, no action. Okay. Okay. So now it's been a tag out. So Axe comes in, using a series of pounding forearms to their back. To Sting's back. Bam, 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 bam. Sting crumples to the ground face forward. And he tries to pin him. Turns him over to pin him. No pin. He still gets out of it. Amazing match. You look at the 453 damage, 89 cuts. 463 damage, 40 cuts. Okay, so now it's Smash again. Double team attempt following the tag out, entering partner jumps from the middle of the turnbuckle and delivers a lethal knee drop to Sting. Backs on opponent's arm and held down on the mat. So it's Axe in there. Oh, Demolition loses control. Dusty Rhodes is taking up control. The crowd slowly works its way into a frenzy and starts getting louder and louder. Dusty Rhodes' Sting gets caught up in the excitement and uses the crowd's energy to get fired up. Here we go. Match has been going on for 21 minutes. It's been a bloodfest kick, just a brawl. Let's. Oh, they lose control. Submission move countered. Oh, okay. Sting hits Demolition with a right chop to his face. That's axe. Pin attempt. No pin on that. Okay, so Dusty Rhodes is back in. Following a tag, entering the partner jumps from the middle of the turnbuckle and delivers a lethal knee drop to the back of Smash's arm as he's held down on the mat. Now Sting is back in. The partner's performing a painful arm twist that has continued following the quick tag out. Okay. Dusty Rhodes. Sting is back in. Sting kicks Smash in his very lower region. Ouch. Okay. Smash applies an extremely painful arm breaker to Sting. Check for submission. No submission by Sting. Now it's Smash back in. I think. Wait a minute. Let's say Smash last time. Axe back in. With the opponent sprawled out, hanging over the edge of the apron, the partner outside the ring delivers a nasty running knee lift to Sting's head. Sting's taking a terrible amount of punishment. Now it's Smash back in. Smash ties up Sting in the ropes and uses the ropes to choke him. Pulls on the opponent's trunks for leverage. Smash picks up Sting and slams him hard to the mat, with the results severe shock to the lower lumbar region. And we'll check for a pin. No pin. Sting getting out of it is amazing. Amazing wrestler here. Sting has control now with Dusty Rhodes. Illegal choking counter. Demolition not maneuver. The opponent able to get counter. Smash. Stop Sting in the midsection. Blam. More punishment on Sting. And now Axe is in there. Double team attempt. Dusty Rhodes and Sting are well prepared for this match. They're able to counter the opponent's move attempt. Dusty Rhodes and Sting have control. Successful tag out occurred. Double team attempt. Dusty Rhodes and Sting getting a few cheap shots when pushing the referee aside as he attempts to halt the onslaught. So. Okay. So in the ring is Sting, Dusty Rhodes, and Sting surprise Smash with a series of punches. Okay. So we have Axe. And the sucker punch Sting when the referee tries to separate the two. Another that hurts bad. Successful tag out occurred. Double team attempt. Counter ready for opponent's move. Dusty Rhodes and Sting make a nice counter. Sting smashes Demolition's face Axe into the turnbuckle, unless it's smashing. I think it's Axe. Demolition smash or Sting. Axe holds Sting in the headlock and punches him in the forehead while shielding it from the referee. So, well, the referee's not looking. He's smashing Sting's head. Okay, we're back to Smash again. Partner baits the opponent's partner to enter the ring, which causes the ref to order him back to the corner. This allows Demolition to perform a variety of double team moves on the opponent who is in the ring, and that's Sting. So Dusty Rhodes back in the corner with the referee, trying to tell the corner, watch what's going on here. And Demolition tags again, so it's back to Smash. Smash scoops up Sting and nails him with a driving body slam. Kablam. Outside the ring is happening. Okay. Dusty Rhodes and Sting are obviously out on their feet. Smash, after throwing Sting outside the ring, blasts him with a steel chair and puts the boots to him on the arena floor. So Sting's been hit with a chair again. Sting has the right outside of their lower lip torn open a little, and blood has started to flow. The match is stopped for future health of both teams. The referee tries to halt the action, but neither wrestler cooperates with all the control lost. Referee, seeing the sickening cuts from afar, calls for the match to end. Who's going to win the match, though? Is anybody going to win it? Or we have to redo it? Wow. $27. Everybody's bleeding profusely over the ring. Minus 509 for demolition damage. Minus 619 for Dusty Rhodes damage. Okay. I don't know if anybody wins this. I guess it's a draw. But what a match it was. The first 5.0 match. Unbelievable. I'm not going to declare a winner at this time. We'll have the match redone. They had a bloody, bloody match. Yeah. Hold on a second. There's 33 minutes. Okay, they sent this decision upstairs to Dave Ancona, the general manager of Flexes and Flips. Rather than have them have another bloody match together, which they will down the road someday, but to have one so close. Demolition has been taken to the hospital. They're hurting, and Sting and Dusty Rhodes have been given first aid here at the wrestling meet, but there was some lacerations on Axe and Smash that were pretty deep indeed. But David Ancona, he goes over the situation. He feels that the match should go to Demolition. They just pounded the hell out of Dusty Rhodes and them, causing 619 damage, over 509 for themselves. So the number one, the winner of the match is going to be, and they're going to go to the semifinals, is Demolition. So okay, that's the decision of the general manager of Flexes and Flips. Means we have two more matches to decide who the heavyweight tag team champions are. We got the Road Warriors against the Steiners, and then we're gonna have Paulo Orndorff and Tony Atlas against the Demolition. Then the winner of those two will face off, and we'll have a new tag team champions. That'll be coming up in a couple of events. But now it's time for a new match. Okay, the next match is Jimmy Snuka against Rocky Johnson. Whoever wins this match is going to defend is going to go for the title. They have a chance at the heavyweight title. So, like I said here, let's see. Go to tournament. Yeah, this will take care of the 16-man tournament. One of these two men will be going for the heavyweight title against the winner of the 16-man battle royal. And these are the wrestlers that are going to be in the battle royal. We'll go over those in a few minutes. Let's get this match underway first. Okay. It's a no DQ match. We've been doing all these all along. This one could get violent. Very violent. We'll see. Okay. Okay. Match's favorite would be Rocky Johnson's. We'll see. Rocky Johnson was a good wrestler. He wants to use a specialty move on Jimmy Snuka. Series of drop kicks. Give Snuka a series of drop kicks to start the match. Rocky Johnson tries to disguise his attack, but it fails in an attempt and loses control. Jimmy Snuka decides to use punches. Goes to punches on Rocky Johnson. Each wrestler moves around the ring, flexing their muscles. They're both have very good physiques. Jimmy Snuka ties the opponent up in a side roll and attempts to pin. No pin. Sugar decides to attack Rocky Johnson's arm and loses. Locks in a deep armbar. Power drivers was maneuvered on. Outside the ring is happening. Rocky Johnson nails Jimmy Snuka with a chair shot to the face. Blam! Rocky Johnson surprises Jimmy Snuka with a snap suplex. Rocky Johnson grabs Jimmy Snuka's hair and pulls it to the mat. Jimmy Snuka takes the eyes off Rocky Johnson for a moment to see what kind of ruckus is going on with the ringside fans. The roaring crowd gives Rocky Johnson an added boost of adrenaline and confidence. Wrestlers lock up, and after pushing and pulling each other, end up in ropes with the referee calls for a break. Both wrestlers break cleanly. Rocky Johnson grabs Jimmy Snuka and slams him hard to the canvas. Tries to pin on Snuka. No pin. Rocky Johnson whips Jimmy Snuka with the ropes and jills him with a high knee to the chest. Blam! Jimmy Snuka getting whooped right now. Rocky Johnson drops an elbow on Jimmy Snuka's groin. Just stamina. Rocky Johnson tries to get more aggressive. He keeps the pressure on Jimmy Snuka and continues to inflict damage on him. Rocky has control. Unless you especially move. The victory roll. Puts him in a victory roll. Got his shoulders down and attempts a pin. Nope. Snuka grabs the ropes. Rocky Johnson misses Kanabi's opening and loses control, so it's Snuka's turn. Jimmy Snuka jumps to the ropes and delivers a high flying forearm. He tries to pin him after that. No pin. Snuka delivers a forearm uppercut to the jaw of Rocky Johnson. Wham. Rocky Johnson with some great demonstration really countered the move. Snuka tries to counter move. Jimmy Snuka from the inside of the ring punches away at Rocky Johnson, knocking him off the ring apron. Bam, 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 bam. Headlock countered. Rocky Johnson needed to grab a breather, keeps pressure on Jimmy Snuka's arm by pressuring a knee to his bicep. Rocky Johnson has a momentary lapse of concentration, loses control to Jimmy Snuka. Jimmy Snuka tries to get more aggressive. Snuka pushes the referee aside and quickly gets his hands on Rocky Johnson, which surprises him. Jimmy Snuka is able to control the action for the moment. Snuka executes a textbook snapmare and brings Rocky Johnson down hard on the mat. Blam! Outside the ring, Jimmy Snuka whips Rocky Johnson to the ringside barrier. Wow! Special move. Superfly leap countered. Rocky Johnson is ready for the opponent's move. Outside ring is happening. Lights out, no Q style. Special match action. Rocky Johnson pile drives Jimmy Snuka onto a steel chair on the arena floor. Wow. Rocky Johnson. Specialty. Drop kicks Boston Crab. Then he tries to check for submission. No submission. Jimmy Snuka hanging in there. Outside the ring, Rocky Johnson hurls Jimmy Snuka over the ringside barrier into the crowd at the ringside. Uh-oh. Rocky Johnson squanders an opportunity to attack, which allows Jimmy Snuka to gain control. Snuka winds up and delivers a forearm side to Rocky Johnson's head, to the side of his head. Blam! The wrestlers end up in the ropes, which were tempers flare just a bit. The referee stops in between, and two cooler heads prevail. Jimmy Snuka trips and loses control to Rocky Johnson. Rocky Johnson senses he has an opening but is wrong, which causes him to lose control. Jimmy Snuka's speed quickness is taking its toll on Rocky Johnson. Jimmy Snuka decides to slow the pace of the match down and place pressure across Rocky Johnson's forehead with a side headlock. It's outside. Jimmy Snuka, while on the arena floor, grabs a leg of Rocky Johnson, who is sprawled out in the ring, and repeatedly wraps the leg around the ring post. Uh-oh. Wham. Rocky Johnson counters a suplex. They're blocking it. Illegal float drop. Well prepared. Jimmy Snuka is ready for the opponent's move. Jimmy Snuka mauls Rocky Johnson all around the ringside, using anything that is not nailed down as a weapon. Jimmy Snuka smashes Rocky Johnson with a chair shot and then runs him into the ring post. Blam. Oh. Then he gives him a Fijian food of Phil Nelson. Tries to get him to submit. 1, 2. No submission. Another Fijian full Nelson. The wrestlers gain a test of strength but end up in the ropes. A clean break. Rocky Johnson turns over the single leg Boston Crab. Submission attempt. No submission. Hmm. Pretty good match thus far. Jimmy Snuka drapes Rocky Johnson's leg over the bottom rope and kicks his knee, reduces stamina by -5. Outside ring action. Uh-oh. Jimmy Snuka stops away on Rocky Johnson as he's draped across the ring apron. A wicked kick by Jimmy Snuka has opened up a cut on Rocky Johnson. Rocky Johnson has a deep scratch on the top of his nose and blood is dripping from the scratch. Uh-oh. -15 on cuts. 217. Snuka is really taking his toll on Rocky Johnson so far. Jimmy Snuka surprises Rocky Johnson with a snap suplex. And he's going to try to pin him. No pin. Rocky Johnson gets out of it. Rocky Johnson asks the referee for equipment check, but the referee denies the request. Set him for a specialty move, a sunset flip, but then Jimmy Snuka counters the move with his quickness. Jimmy Snuka has control, headlock counter, ready for opponent's move. Rocky Johnson surprises with a brilliant counter. Rocky Johnson hooks. Jimmy Snuka delivers a fisherman suplex. Pin attempts. No pin yet. Johnson kicks Snuka in the back. Blam. And then he gives him a series of drop kicks. Bam, blam, blam, blam. And then he's going to try to pin him. Knocks him down. And he gets him. All right, well, Rocky Johnson wins the match. Damage at 179 for Snuka. 227 and -15. But Jimmy Snuka is pinned after those drop kicks. So 3.5 match rating. Okay. Rocky Johnson goes back to the locker room to get his wounds looked at, but he did nice match against Jimmy Snuka there. Okay, here's our battle royal. I'll set it up and I'll be right back. Okay, the wrestlers involved in the battle royal are going to be Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan, Razor Ramon, Big John Studd, Ron Bass, Ox Baker, Booker T, The Undertaker, Sting, Steve Austin, Bam Bam Bigelow, King Kong Bundy, Earthquake, Ricky Steamboat, Bill Goldberg, and Superstar Billy Graham. Here we are. I've never done a battle royal before, so let's see how this goes. Start next battle. Roll for elimination. Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan. Survived Andre the Giant, done. Ron Bass against Earthquake. Survived Earthquake, done. Start next battle. Austin and Ricky Steamboat. Survived Steve Austin. Ox Baker grabs a hold of Ron Bass. Survived. Sting and Superstar Billy Graham, the karate guy. Eliminated Superstar Billy Graham. Attacker whips Superstar Billy Graham into the ropes, and as the Superstar Billy Graham comes charging back, attacker drops down, grabs the top rope, pulling it down with him. Superstar Billy Graham is unable to stop and goes flying out of the ring to the floor below. He's the first one out of it. Ox Baker and Bill Goldberg. Bill Goldberg eliminated. Bill Goldberg is ready to get the upper hand against the attacker. As Bill Goldberg thinks he has it under control, the attacker gets a cheap shot and then muscles Bill Goldberg over the top rope onto the floor. Uh-oh. Hulk Hogan against Razor Ramon. I gotta get a picture of Razor. Okay. Hulk Hogan's eliminated by Razor Ramon. Hulk Hogan is busy with another attacker and gets surprised when he's grappled from behind. Hulk Hogan is lifted up and hoisted over the ropes to the floor below. Oh boy. Razor Ramon showing his strength. Andre the Giant versus Ron Bass. Andre the Giant survived. Razor Ramon against Sting. Sting survived. Backers Booker T. And trying to get Andre out. Andre survived. King Kong Bundy and Steve Austin. Kong Bundy survived. Sting against Earthquake. Sting survived, but barely. Look at that. Earthquake was working him over, trying to get him over the belt. I bet that Sting went over the top rope and came in under the belt, under the top lower rope. Didn't touch the floor. Stone Cold and Earthquake. Eliminated Steve Austin. Steve Austin is concentrating on another attacker. Does not see the attacker come from behind him on the ring apron. Steve Austin is suddenly grabbed from behind and pulled over the top rope to the floor and seen by the referee. Oh boy. Bam Bam and Ox Baker. Bam Bam Bigelow survived. Three attackers. Sting, Booker T, and Undertaker attacking Big John Studd. Roll for elimination. Big John Studd gets grappled by those big fellas, and they pull him right over the top rope. It says John Studd is on the turnbuckle getting ready to attempt to move when he is pushed off onto the floor. John Studd is eliminated from the Battle Royal. Okay. Sting against Ron Bass. Ron Bass survives. Sting against Earthquake. Sting survives. Oh, they want to get the big old Undertaker. So it's Razor Ramon, Earthquake, and Bam Bam Bigelow against him. He is eliminated. Thinking he has been eliminated, the Undertaker continues brawling outside the ring with an eliminated attacker. The Undertaker pays no attention to the referee's 10 count and subsequently counted out of the ring and is now officially eliminated from the Battle Royal. Uh-oh. They got counted out. Start next battle. Andre the Giant, Ron Bass, and Steamboat against Earthquake. Earthquake survived, fighting like hell. Razor Ramon against Ron Bass. Razor Ramon survived. Earthquake against Razor Ramon. He survived. Okay, so Ox Baker and Ron Bass. Eliminated as Ox Baker. Oh! While Attacker and Ox Baker are battling close to the ropes, a group of attackers sneak up behind Ox Baker and toss him over the top rope, thus eliminating him from the Battle Royal. Uh-oh. Andre versus Bam Bam Bigelow. Andre survives. Steamboat versus Earthquake. Ooh, he barely survived. Steamboat did. Ron Bass and Bam Bam Bigelow. Bam Bam Bigelow survives. Earthquake and Razor Ramon against Bam Bam Bigelow. Bam Bam Bigelow is eliminated. Attacker turns just in time to see Bam Bam Bigelow charging him. Attacker was able to trip Bam Bam Bigelow and propel him over the ropes onto the floor. Bam Bam Bigelow is eliminated from the Battle Royal. So that's that. Earthquake versus Razor Ramon. Ramon survived. Ron Bass against Earthquake. Ron Bass is eliminated by Earthquake. Ron Bass takes his attention off the action and looks out under the crowd as Ron Bass turns around and attacker and lands some vicious punches that send Ron Bass over the top rope onto the floor. Uh-oh. Steamboat versus Andre the Giant. Steamboat survives. Booker T gets Steamboat. Steamboat survives. Well, for elimination against these three. Earthquake, Booker T, and Steamboat gang up on Andre the Giant. Andre survives. You don't got me. King Kong Bundy, Razor Ramon, Earthquake, and Booker T gang up on King Kong Bundy now. King Kong Bundy survives. Bundy against Booker T. Bundy survives. Roll for elimination. Andre survives against him. Okay, Bundy and Sting against Booker T. He survived with all his strength. Sting. Andre the Giant survived. Ricky Steamboat and Booker T. Eliminated is Ricky Steamboat. Uh-oh. Ricky Steamboat and Attacker tumbling out of the ring, but they're not officially eliminated. Not carrying at this point, the two all over the ringside. Oblivious to the referee's 10 count. Attacker barely makes it back to the ring, but Ricky Steamboat is counted out of the ring. Miss Ramon survived. Andre the Giant and Sting against Razor Ramon. Man, Razor Ramon is eliminated this time. With a little toothpick in his mouth. Thinking he has been eliminated, Razor Ramon continues brawling outside of the ring with an eliminated attacker. Razor Ramon pays no attention to the referee's 10 count and is subsequently counted out of the ring and now officially eliminated from the Battle Royal. So there we go. King Kong Bunny gets eliminated by Razor Ramon and Booker T. King Kong Bunny is standing around near the ropes and is about ready to go down. Attacker delivers a brutal chop and forearm smash, knocking King Kong Bundy over the top rope onto the floor, eliminating him from the Battle Royal. Boom. Sting against these three guys. Oh, Sting's hurting. Sting's eliminated. Attacker whips Sting into the ropes and as Sting comes charging back, Attacker drops down and grabs the top rope, pulling it down with him. Sting is in with a stop and goes flying out of the ring on the floor below. Uh-oh. Booker T against Earthquake. Andre the Giant is still white and no one's ever touched him. Oh. Earthquake survived. Andre the Giant. Earthquake is eliminated. While Attacker and Earthquake are battling close to the ropes, a group of attackers sneak up behind Earthquake and toss him out at the top rope, thus eliminating him from the Battle Royal. Elimination. Booker T versus Andre the Giant. Booker T wins. Booker T ducks a big punch attempt by Andre the Giant, which makes Andre the Giant lose his balance. Booker T pushes off the off balance Andre the Giant over the top rope, eliminating him. So Booker T is the champion of the Battle Royal, but he's not the champ. He didn't hold the belt yet. Okay, done. Wow, that was pretty incredible. Pretty cool. But that's it for wrestling tonight. Next time we're gonna have tag tournament. The Road Warriors against the Steiners, Paul Orndorff and Tony Atlas. They'll decide and then we'll have at the further event we'll have the tag team championship match. The next main event's going to be Rocky Johnson versus the winner of the Battle Royal, who's Booker T. Booker T and Rocky Johnson are going to be in a heavyweight championship belt match. Whoever wins is the belt. And there we go. But thank you for everybody for watching. This has been pretty fun. Some good matches tonight. Have a good night and a blessed day tomorrow. Bye-bye.